Hi, what's your name?
Mickey San Miguel, man,
Hey,
from
now,
Colorado.
now I understand you were inside the meeting of the energy meeting, and you got a chance to ask a question of Governor of Colorado, Hickenlooper. And what was your question?
Essentially, my question was, I am a constituent of Colorado. So, basic, really simple question, and that was, with the undemocratic processes that are going on in Colorado right now, is Governor Hickenlooper ready to reinstate and protect communities and allow people to have the right to have a say whether oil and gas companies come into those neighborhoods and communities. And we see what's going on here in Colorado right now. You have two states, or rather two cities that are being sued, Longmont, Fort Collins, because one of them has a moratorium on fracking, the other one, through a democratic process, has a ban on fracking. So unfortunately now we have to pay legal fees and shit like that. So
So tell me about your interaction with Governor.
yeah, he did make eye contact, stuff like that.
So when you
He didn't
asked
say
him-
anything though.
You asked him a direct question, and he didn't respond to you.
He didn't respond. Obviously, I mean, he didn't respond. I don't know. He should respond, right, guys?
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, we disrupted the meeting a little bit, but I think we've come to a point where we do have to disrupt these things. We're sick and tired of status quo politics, and when we mean status quo, we mean we're not going to wait for you guys' time to answer our questions. We're actually going to confront you guys with those questions.
So
and
you
in
seem
a
like you're
conventional way.
You seem like you're as frustrated as John Lewis was when he decided to do a little Occupy movement on the floor of the Congress. Are you guys invoking that same kind of spirit? It's like you have to make a way where there is no way?
Absolutely.
Disrupt?
We're paving a new way of trying to get through to these guys, man, because with what's going on right now, it's hard to get a hold of him. I'm in Colorado. I try and send them emails. I try and tweet him, stuff like that, my concerns in my neighborhood. And I speak on behalf of, a lot of people that in Colorado right now. We have fractivists on the ground right now passing Initiative 7578. And we're gaining ground, and we know we're gaining ground because now they have attack ads, fighting back against us. But I mean, we have. They better watch out, because the people are coming, man. When the people organize, we are very, very powerful.
Now, do you think that you doing this, you're disrupting meetings and being occupiers in a sense, will be met with the same kind of sentiment that John Lewis and the Congress was when they occupied Congress? Or do you think people will try to dismiss you?
It's people will try and dismiss us, but we have to change perspectives. They've occupied and infiltrated our communities, right? So the oil and gas companies have, and this is what we're talking about. We can't have these people coming and infiltrating our communities, trampling on people's rights when they say no, they don't want these things around our neighborhoods, because they are causing a bunch of stuff.
Now, Hillary Clinton's message is that fracking is bad, but it's okay if it's well regulated.
It's not okay, and enough talk about regulation. It's time to move forward. It's time to set a goal of banning fracking, not regulating fracking.
So regulating fracking doesn't work.
No, it's not going to work. No, I mean,
fracking is still fracking.
Fracking's still fracking, yeah. And whether or not we regulate it here in the United States, remember that she's pushed this stuff all over the world. We have China. Many thousands of people dying a day in China, because of air pollution and stuff caused from fossil fuels. I mean, it's like we've come to a point where we need to stop the use of fossil fuels in general. I mean, it's really, really simple. And the monopolization of the energy industries, I mean, these guys are really, really playing a huge part in destroying people's lives and not letting us have a choice of where we want to get our energy from.
So do you think you had a little bit of an impact today up there?
We rushed the stage, so absolutely. I think we had an impact.
Was John Ralston there? Because I'm sure there was a chair flying.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, in volatile protests like we saw yesterday. I was marching with Jill Stein yesterday. Super peaceful. I'm also covering and live streaming what we can. And you have Fox Business News put a lower third in there saying volatile protests. Come on, guys. Come on.
Lefties are pretty nonviolent.
That's right, man.
All right. Is there anything else you want to let the people know about this meeting and fracking and what you guys are doing in general?
Guys, everybody in Colorado, anybody out there, spread the word about the movement that's going on, the people that are organizing on the ground. We have
Okay, we're going to move to the street. Let's go.
Initiative 75 and 78. Yes, over health and yes for health and safety over fracking. Get involved. You guys are the power of the movement. It's us, the people, that get involved, that empower each other to make the change. We hear it all the time that change comes from the bottom on up, and trust me, when you have these big oil companies now that are putting advertisements attacking the movements and the campaigns that are pushing this effort to make the change, you know we're making an impact, man. We don't have the money, but we have the people, yeah.
Okay. Thanks for talking with us. Thanks for your activism. It's important. All right.
And one more thing that I want to say is like we have to hold everyone accountable when we're trying to get the justice that we deserve. And that includes people within our own movement. I'm going to say this publicly, and I don't care how much trouble I get into. Shame on you, League of Conservation Voters. Shame on you, LCV. Your acronym stands for Lax Climate Values. You continuously support people who have ties to the fracking industry. Carol Browner on your board of directors has ties to the fracking industry. You do not get to call yourself an environmental organization. And to the people who are giving money to that organization, do your research. Do your research, because these are not our friends. These are not our friends, okay? Anyone you cannot claim to call yourself environmental when you are supporting frackers. That doesn't make any sense at all. And you cannot have people, Secretary Clinton, on your energy policy team who have ties to the fracking industry. That would be like me asking David Duke to be on a civil rights commission. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. We're holding everybody accountable. Friends, foes, whatever. Because if we cannot hold our friends accountable, we have no business trying to hold the fossil fuel empire accountable. Do your research, people. LCV are not our friends.
What do they say to you? What's their response to all this?
I mean, you saw what happened when they endorsed Secretary Clinton before any other environmental group besides Friends of the Earth, who had the temerity and political valor to endorse Bernie Sanders. But like their membership plummeted. I mean, just look at their Facebook page on the day that they endorsed her. And then they also, in Pennsylvania, one of the places where our sisters and brothers are fighting so hard to end this poisonous practice, they endorsed Katie McGinty, who takes money from the oil and gas industry. How are you going to take them on if you're taking money from them? They have not offered any explanation for that. And listen, I mean, who am I? I'm just an African American activist. But I'm sorry, we are going to shut anything and anyone down that pushes poison, even quote unquote environmental conservation organizations. We're not falling for that anymore. And so you can have your LCV for Hillary shirts, that's great, but you're not in green. But they should be in red for all the blood and all the suffering that is going on, whether it's our indigenous sisters and brothers, a slow form of violence. Climate change is a system of oppression. It's not about big storms and whatnot. It's a system of oppression, okay? It's racist, it's misogynist, it's patriarchal, it's homophobic, it's Islamophobic, and it forms the intersection of all kinds of injustice. You cannot address climate disruption without also addressing all forms of disruption or all forms of justice. So LCV, just like the DNC, you're on notice too.
Okay. I would just say that it's just worth mentioning, and my name's David Braun. I'm with Americans Against Fracking, or one of the founders. And I would just say that it's important to note that fracking, and I know it's been said, fracking can not be made safe. 400,000 pounds of chemicals go into the ground in each and every frack job. On average, of those chemicals, 32% cause cancer, 43% are genetic disruptors, 58% are immune suppressants, and they're knowingly injecting this into containers that they know are unsafe. From the industry themselves, they tell us 5% of their well casings fail in the first year alone. 50% fail after 30 years. They're injecting these chemicals at 15,000 pounds of pressure per square inch. It takes 100 pounds of pressure per square inch to break the strongest bone in my body, my femur. They're doing it 100 times that amount. You cannot make fracking safe. Period. You can't clean up this industry. And currently, the Clinton administration is wholeheartedly embracing the gas industry and taking money from them.
Back that we can't make fracking safe is why we need it out of our communities, which is why my name is Sabrina, by the way. That's why I am working on a couple of ballot initiatives in Colorado right now. They are 75 and 78. 75 will give the power back to local communities because right now, because of the Supreme Court decision, the bans in Broomfield, the bans in Broomfield, Longmont, and Fort Collins were overturned, which takes away a local community's ability to regulate fracking, to put a moratorium on fracking, to ban fracking, to protect their communities, to protect their people, to protect their children.
So you're saying you want more local control of what happens?
75 will give back local control to the communities and allow them to regulate in their own communities. 78 is 2,500-foot mandatory setbacks. That's from schools, homes, hospitals, drinking water sources.
And right now, what is the mandatory setback?
500 feet for occupied structures. If they're building new structures, it's only 350 feet, which is a problem in places like Thornton, where they're about to put one of the largest fracking plants in the nation, and they're about to build the low-income housing 350 feet away from that fracking plant. This plant is right next to an elementary school. You can literally, from one side of the elementary school, see the test rig on the other side.
Okay. So tell me the name of those bills again.
75 and 78.
Okay. And what do you want people in Colorado to do?
I want them to sign our petition to get it on the ballot and then go vote yes on 75 and 78 in November.
How can they say? Is there a website? How can they sign up? How can they sign up to your petition?
They can go to Yes for Health and Safety Over Fracking and figure out where our ballot, where we will have people out there getting signatures.
Okay.
This thing, Democrats. Pennsylvania is going to be important. Do you think that they're going to vote to frack in their own backyards? Please, take a stand on this issue.
Okay. Jay, thanks for talking with us. All right, so that's our coverage here. There was a meeting here. We got to it late, but they got to it on time. They made the point that fracking is unsafe no matter how many regulations you put on it. They have some great ideas on how to keep it safer, keep it away from people, keep it away from residences. And it's, again, another good sign of activism here on the ground. The progressive movement is alive and well.